Hey guys, it's Nathan Patrick here, a colleague of Jacoby Van Dyke. Now, he has tasked me on giving you a great factual video about Harriet Beecher Stowe, and if I do a good job, or if you give me 20 likes, I can keep my job. So let's begin. Harriet Beecher Stowe was born on June 14, 1811 in Litchfield, Connecticut. She had 12 siblings including Henry Ward Beecher, Catherine Beecher, and 10 more. Once she was 5 years old, her mom, Roxana Beecher, died in 1816. Harriet then had to live with her siblings and father. 3 years later, Harriet started an education at the Litchfield Female Academy. Later, she then went to Hartford Female Seminary and became a teacher there for 3 years, until 1832, where her father, Lyman Beecher, got accepted for a job as president at Lane Seminary in Cincinnati, Ohio. Harriet made the tough choice to go with him. She then became a teacher there, and as a teacher, Harriet met abolitionists who convinced her on how slavery is bad. She ended up agreeing with them, but didn't do anything about it yet. Harriet was interested in slavery and wanted everyone to be equal, since we are all human beings. She even said, "And perhaps among us may be found generous spirits who do not estimate honor and justice by dollars and cents," really just meaning that everyone is equal. She thought of others and wanted them to be free. In 1833, she published her first book, which was about primary geography. She then met Calvin Stowe, and they married in 1836 when they moved to Florida a few years later. Calvin was a teacher at Lane Seminary in Cincinnati, Ohio as well, and that is how they met. In the future, they ended up having 7 children together and moving to Massachusetts. Harriet wrote lots of articles and magazines and about 30 different books. In the summer of 1849, her son died of cholera epidemic. This inspired her to become an abolitionist, since it inspires empathy for enslaved mothers. Harriet was now an abolitionist. She had moved to Maine, and a couple years later, the Slave Act started. This infuriated her. 2 years later, she published the book Uncle Tom's Cabin. You can even visit this exact house she lived in. After Uncle Tom's Cabin, the South got infuriated, and they said the book was incorrect. They even countered the book with more accurate ones, as they said. After some guy from Washington, D.C. named F.W. Thomas copied excerpts from the book and called it his own, Harriet brought it to court and won. She then published a book called The Key to Uncle Tom's Cabin. She spoke about her book around the world, trying to convince to end slavery. Her fame did help her with this, as it led to her meeting President Lincoln, which he complimented her. After the war, she discovered a new idea to fight for: women's rights. She was in a small group of allies, and it wasn't much of an alliance. The group included Harriet, Susan B. Anthony, and Elizabeth Cady Stanton, which they all fought for women's rights together. Harriet ended up moving to Hartford, Connecticut with her husband Calvin, and they built their dream home there. She lived there for a long time and even helped build the Hartford Art School and the University of Hartford, while still fighting for women's rights. She wouldn't see this fight end, as she died in 1896 while visiting Florida. Theoretically, if Harriet lived today, I suspect she would still write books and articles, but I think it would be more online ones on a certain website or something. I also would still believe that she goes and speaks about her books and promotes them to end a certain thing. I believe she would be fighting for Black Lives Matter and possibly other movements that deal with equality. I know she wouldn't do anything illegal, and that she would still follow the law. Now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you like reading more than listening, check out realtimehistory.org, where we have the same information but listed. And as always, this is it. Bye-bye.